Today I will be showing you the best design ever. I'm not kidding, ever. This is the most compact Caterpillar engine in Minecraft Pocket Edition up to now. If you guys can make a better one or that's more compact, please let me know because I believe this is as compact as it gets. And the coolest part is it uses these new observer blocks. Okay, so first step in making this, I'm gonna show you for real quick, is you set an observer like this. This is the output side, and this is the input side. The input side is the side with the square. The side with the square we're gonna have facing our wall. The reason for this is because we want two slime blocks attached to it right here. We're going to have a sticky piston and a regular piston in this design. The regular piston will be pushing the design, and the sticky piston will be pulling the design. Now, we activate it, and we set our observer, which will send a signal through this sticky block system, which only consists of this sticky block, this piston, and this observer. Now, this sticky piston, these two sticky pistons, and these two slime blocks are connected to this piston, which will push this. Each time it sends a signal through because of the observer will send a signal through and will push the piston, which will make this a flying machine because it will repeat it by sending another signal through upon this end, which will make our observer then react, which will push this even further. So it will pull, it will push. Every single time it pulls, it will push because it's sending another signal through. Now this is our engine right here. The very minute we release this redstone, that's how you make it go. Now to make it stop is you just tap right there. And as you see, there's something extremely important you need to understand when making these things. If you build this really quick, and if you were to leave it running as, let's say if you left your world right now and you kept this running as you left the world, it would crash the world because you can't load the world again. It can't generate these moving blocks. So if you'll break the system and you'll break whatever in your world. So if you have anything useful in your world that you like, remember that. I'm going to show you how to build this one more time, and I'm going to show you how to make it a flying airplane too. So, next, you just put your observer here, and what this is I've created a launching pad. You can't just build this on any regular blocks because what you see here are immovable blocks. Blocks like pumpkins, chest, obsidian, a lot of things that are that have item inventories, or for example, the pumpkin, it's hollow, and that's why you could put a light through it. So any way that you set the sticky piston, the piston, it will power it this way. So you always want to have your sticky piston face the direction that you want to be moving. And now, I like to activate this here before I place this piston, because what I noticed is if I set this observer up right here, it of course will activate this piston the very minute I break these blocks, and what that will do is, for some reason, it's a glitch, but this piston disappears, and it's just not fun to watch your stuff disappear, so I try and avoid that. Okay, next, um, I built this a little wrong. Yeah, I built this wrong because I need an observer going into each sticky blocks. You see how right there, I just connected it like that, and the regular piston disappears? I don't know why. It's a glitch. So if you are building this, you'll notice that too, and it's something that you'll have to deal with. Now, to make this a flying machine, you only have to bring it out 2 blocks this way on this sticky block system, which you can then put 2 fence posts on, which hold you in place while you're on the flying block system. But let's say if you're in survival and you wanted to build this to make a really cheap version of this, because you want to use as few blocks as possible, you could just set a slime block right in front of it, so it will push this slime block with this fence post, which will hold you in place. Which, if you do it this way, you have to crouch in order to break this redstone torch and to place another one on. But once you're on, this is the cheapest way to make a flying machine and get wherever you need to get. And this could fly you literally as far as you want until it hits, let's say, if there is a mountain this way. So, if you run into a mountain, or the plane will stop. So the very minute this thing gets to there, it will stop. And as you see, this thing is actually not that slow. It can move at a pretty good rate. But there is a faster version of this, and if you don't know how to build other engines, it would be a very good idea to check out how to build my other engines, and I will leave a description in the below to one of the other engines that I built. And now let's say if you want to make this a flying TNT launcher, you place 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then 1 block right here. And you can have it hold you in place and release the redstone. Oh, yeah, that would have killed you in survival. So that's why. Oh, yeah. Don't put the redstone on the regular piston. You always need to put the redstone on this sticky piston down here. And if you don't, the piston disappears. I don't know why. It just does. But as you see, this does work, and it is a fully functioning device. Now, if I want to make it a flying TNT launcher, I place a redstone block there, and boom. It now launches TNT. And it can drop TNT, as you can see. It's all about depending on your timing on when you set these blocks there, which will launch or drop. So this is a really interesting device because it will launch and also drop your TNT. It's not only a dropper, it's a launcher, it's the cheapest flying machine, it's the most simplest way to get around overseas, because you can't travel this fast on a boat. I mean, maybe you could, but it's not as cool. I mean, you could have some guy on a boat underneath you, and you could be like, yeah, look at me, I'm on a flying machine shooting TNT in the ocean. What are you doing? You're on a boat. Exactly. And once you no longer want this design, you could just say goodbye. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something about this Caterpillar engine. And If you didn't, then I am very shocked. Congratulations, you're probably a yeah, you're a wizard. Bottom line. Everybody have a good good day. Um,